This is Julian, and welcome to Transformation Mastery.
It was fucking amazing.
This was huge for me. This was so important.
This gave me by far the greatest epiphanies I've ever had.
It just made me finally confront my deepest fears.
And we got like real deep, and I found some issues within myself.
One of the best things I've seen so far in my life.
What you're about to experience going through this program is what completely changed my life on every single level. Okay, be it health, wealth, relationships, higher purpose, you name it. This is the stuff that finally produced that true, long-lasting personal transformation we're all after. Okay, now, before we dive into what you can expect when you start your transformation and how this program works, because it is a completely new approach here with new methods designed to produce results for you fast, I want to share with you a little bit of the backstory of how Transformation Mastery came into existence. So I first got into this whole personal development, self-help world back in 2006 when I randomly found out about success with women and the fact that you can work on yourself and transform who you are into someone who is more confident, fun, attractive, playful, so on and so forth. Because up until that point, and I don't know if you know this about me, I was stuck. Okay, I was completely stuck. I was at the bottom. I was someone who was anxious 24/7, who was stressed out 24/7, miserable 24/7, paranoid. I couldn't put myself out there. I couldn't speak up. I wouldn't jump at opportunities. I was just living a very miserable existence. I was depressed. I was overwhelmed. I was drained. I had no energy, and it was straight up hell. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, if I had to rate my experience of myself, it was a good 3 out of 10. And it's been like that as far as I can remember. You know, ever since I was a kid, like my earliest memories, it was like that. Like that was me, and I had no hope. You know, I kind of came to terms with, hey, I guess this is just how things are. And I had my excuses. Well, you know, I grew up in Switzerland. Maybe if I lived in America, things would be different. Maybe if I had cooler friends. Maybe if I was better looking. Maybe if I had, you know, this thing happened to me, if that person didn't screw me over, so on and so forth. And I just lived a hell of a life. And finding out about this gave me that hope. I was like, whoa, I can actually have control over this. I don't have to stay a victim. I can step it up and change who I am. I don't have to accept this shitty reality, this shitty state of being. And I did. Okay, I became obsessed with transforming who I am. And I optimized everything. I optimized my personality. I became more confident. I worked on becoming more funny, more playful, more extroverted, because I'm naturally introverted. It's like this would be the scariest thing ever for me back in the day. I optimized my life situation. You know, I was like, okay, well, I need relationships with friends, girls. Okay, I need to travel. I need to make money. I need to like really live a crazy life filled with these rich experiences. Let's optimize all of that. And I did. And I went all out, and in 2010, I started traveling the world and teaching literally tens of thousands of people, just like you and me, face to face, how to get unstuck as well, how to transform. And I went all out. You know, I perfected my teachings, and I would see every type of person. Okay, at this point, I've done 5 to 6 world tours, and my schedule is every single week. I'm traveling to a new city or country every single fucking week. And I'm seeing new people with new issues. I'm seeing the different subtleties. I'm seeing the setbacks. I'm seeing what's going on. And I would perfect my teachings, perfect how to snap them out of it, how to help them not just settle for that shitty state of being, but how to optimize it. Now, one thing that I noticed over the years, and this really troubled me, and I'd see it in my clients, but also in myself, is that although we would transform ourselves, transform our lives, and achieve success, it always felt like we were fighting against something to get there. And any success that we would get, it would require a lot of effort to maintain. You know, it just felt like something kept pulling us back. Like we weren't meant to get the success. Like the system was rigged against us. And let me ask you this, right now, if you've optimized different things in your life, does it feel like that? Does it feel like you're fighting against something? Like the system is somehow just rigged against you? And you can try to find a way there. You can really perfect the techniques, perfect the willpower, and hustle your way there, but there's still that force field just kind of pulling you back to ground zero, pulling you right back into misery. And that's what I felt. And not just that, if you want to go really deep here, but underneath all of that success, all the things I'd optimized, my personality, my life, I still felt the same. And this is how crazy this gets. And I'm sure you can relate right now, okay, where you might have optimized a lot in your life. You might have worked on yourself, your personality. You might have worked on your financial success, gotten a new job, gotten a promotion, gotten healthy, improved yourself, read a lot of books, so on and so forth. Just really optimize everything, trying to live a really rich, fulfilling life. However, underneath all that surface work, all that surface transformation, did anything really change? Or is it still that same old you? And this is something that would freak me the fuck out, where I'd have all this success, and I'd fight to maintain it, a lot of effort, and then every once in a while I'd have a glimpse of that old me. If I just sat with myself and I did nothing, and just brought that awareness into my body, it was still the same old me. It was still that 3 out of 10 underneath it all. And it would freak me out to the point where I just kind of block it off, like, oh, just don't pay attention to that. Because what that would mean is that everything that I had done, everything that I'd worked on and optimized was simply surface level work. It was just this big, endless chase of shit that just didn't do anything. It's mental masturbation if you think about it. You're just like, I'm doing all the success, chasing this, yet nothing is changing deep down inside. It's not true transformation. And this is what I realized in 2014 when I went through the most traumatic yet life-changing experience, which was the media scandal that I talk about a lot, where I pushed my marketing so far and eventually things popped, and guess what? I did get pulled back.
I see some comments from various people here about a fella called Julian Blanc.
Julian Blanc.
Julian Blanc.
Julian Blanc.
Julian Blanc. Julian
You all know who Julian Blanc
Yes.
And although that was the worst experience of my life, it was also from this experience of just losing everything, because I lost everything, that as cliche as it sounds, I gained everything. Okay, because it forced me to stop distracting myself and just focusing on all this surface stuff, on all the external, and chasing more and more and more. And it forced me to let go of all that, and even let go of the stuff that's keeping me at that 3 out of 10, and finally snap out and achieve that 10 out of 10. So let me explain, okay? This is how it works. Most people are stuck at the bottom, okay? They're stuck in a very shitty, miserable state of being. And that used to be me. You find out about personal development, and you start optimizing yourself, you start optimizing your life. However, you're still optimizing, trying to escape that shitty experience. Okay, so follow me here. At the bottom, everyone's experiences scarcity, they're coping, it's a bad state of being. They try to optimize it by running away from that. But by running away from it, they're keeping it alive. Because any movement where you're running away from something is the continuation of that thing. By you trying to be more confident, you're keeping the fact that you're not confident to begin with alive. By you trying to be happy, you're keeping the fact that you're not happy alive. By me, for example, trying to improve my 3 out of 10 baseline, I'm keeping that 3 out of 10 baseline alive. So it's literally like that fucking movie, The Matrix, where you can either be in the Matrix and just suck. You're at the bottom, there's your life, that's you, suck it. Or you can try to improve your life, but you're still in the fucking Matrix. And that's why no one achieves true, deep, permanent transformation. Because it's just this surface work in the Matrix paradigm. And what I got out of going through that media scandal is that it snapped me out of the Matrix. I had to literally drop everything and have this glimpse of another reality, another state of being, another paradigm, not based on scarcity, but based on abundance. And that is the most life-changing moment ever. And this is what inspired Transformation Mastery. This is what got me obsessed ever since the end of 2014 up until now to create a program for you to experience that without the downside of going through a media scandal, so you as well can snap out of the Matrix.
Loose, hands up, loose. Let's loose the fuck up. Woo. Everyone,
loosen the fuck up, all out. Hey, whatever you're smart to do.
This is about results. If you've been following my journey, what I've been teaching, I've always been about results. And this is the next level for you to fucking kill it and get more results. Because if you're coping, and follow me here, if let's just say 1 to 10, you're a 3 out of 10. Instead of coming from a solid platform of 10 out of 10 and then thriving and killing it in life, you're coping with this 3 out of 10. Everything you're doing is trying to compensate or escape it. A lot of energy, a lot of paranoia, a lot of waste is just going into this shitty state of just trying to survive with it. And not only that, but guess what? You're addicted to this state. And this is what kept pulling me back and what kept pulling all of my clients back. So when you change this, okay, to 10 out of 10, that's your platform. You're no longer in scarcity, you're in abundance, you can thrive and just kill it even more. And you cannot imagine the possibilities. As soon as I started incorporating this into my teachings for the past 2 years, the results have been so fucking drastic and so effortless. It's like they've been driving with the brakes on and those brakes are finally off. And you're just free. I mean, imagine that. Just walking out of your house right now, walking out of the front door and just being free. Not defensive, not coping, not worrying, not trying to escape it, not trying to numb it, not trying to stuff it down, just feeling fucking awesome and ready to attack life. Just fucking imagine.
Loud as you can.
I start, I just scream. Or what is it? I scream as loud as I
Don't
can.
think, do.
Ah!
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 Even more. Ah!
Ah!
Now talk. Bring it. Just don't think, do.
I fucking play League of
Louder. Dude, that was it. I honestly couldn't have thought of a better example. It's like, oh, my passion, League of Legends. When I play Thunder, that's what turns you on. Yes. And now it's that aliveness. Actually look at the crowd. That aliveness, the brightness in the pupils, the smile, the genuine smile. That's what you got to connect with.
If you look at me, ever since the end of 2014, for the past 2 years, versus the first 8 years, 2006 to 2014, when I first got into this, those first 8 years, I went all out. I became obsessed with transformation, but it's all about results here. Okay, that's how you measure this. Look at me the past 2 years. The change in terms of real world, real life results, these past 2 years, trumped the first 8 by a long shot. You can't even fucking compare. Those first 8 years in terms of results, yeah, they're pretty fucking drastic, but now, these last 2, they're a fucking joke. And this is what I want for you. I want you to get your fucking foot off that brake pedal, start fucking killing it, start enjoying your results, start resonating with success. You don't have to fight this uphill battle where you're being pulled back, and instead, you start being pulled towards your goals, and you can finally feel fucking awesome and at peace inside. Okay, so it's starting with the deep work, so you can then kill it with the surface work. Close your eyes and think back to one of those moments you put yourself out there and someone just really shamed you for what you were feeling or shamed you for what you were thinking. They told you it's not okay. That part of you was rejected. You felt maybe embarrassed. You felt upset. Maybe self-hate kicked in because you shouldn't be feeling that. You're like, what's wrong with me? Why am I feeling that? Why is that coming up? And just kind of replay the scenario and just replay all those sensations. How did you feel? If you were anxious, if you were angry, just kind of what came up and what do you feel in your body right now, just kind of replaying it. Do you feel hurt, betrayed, upset, embarrassed, stupid, hating yourself, beating yourself up? Just tune into it and just let it come up. So what's in Transformation Mastery and how does this all work? And the first thing I want to stress here is that it is a very experiential approach. Okay, this isn't a program where you go through it and you memorize every little bit of content, every little idea, trying to transform that way there. Instead, you go through this program and you let the content change what's inside. And you will notice the deeper you go into this program, the more little subtleties you're going to start experiencing inside. And I've broken down Transformation Mastery into 3 main parts. There's part 1, which is awareness, part 2, which is proof, and part 3, which is permanence. And in part 1, this is where we really focus on snapping you out of this socially conditioned, scarcity-based reality. We're going to examine different paradigms. We're going to examine and question assumptions you've never questioned before and assumptions you didn't even know you were making. We're going to examine cause and effect. And here, I really want to reprogram your brain, reprogram your understanding of yourself and the world. And just by this first section, and this is how crazy it gets, you're going to have epiphany after epiphany just exploding in your head, and the changes will already start happening. And this is content and ideas you've never heard before. They can be hard to swallow, but you gotta choose here. Do you want to stay in this shitty reality? Is it the blue pill or the fucking red pill? Which one are you gonna take? Take it, swallow it, and then let's fucking do this. That's the first section. The second section is proof. And this is where I get you to experience everything that we talked about. You experience it firsthand through a guided release. And this is something that's completely new. I've never released anything like it before, where you're going to sit down and it's a guided form of meditation that will get you to snap out of this reality, get you to snap out of the matrix. That's how crazy this gets. And just by this guided release, you will have that proof inside of you. You will finally have that glimpse, just like me, going through a worldwide media scandal, but you will have it from the comfort of your own home. And the third section is permanence, and that's where we go deep into your subconscious, which is another topic most people don't tackle. And this is where a lot of these assumptions and a lot of the things that are keeping this scarcity-based reality, that are keeping you at this shitty default state, that's keeping that alive, are buried in there, and you need to let go of those and release them. That's how you make this permanent. So awareness, you get what's happening. Proof, you have that glimpse. Permanence, we dive into your subconscious, we dive into your childhood, different traumas, different recurring patterns in your life. We break those patterns so you're no longer a prisoner, you're no longer living in reaction, and we completely free you and make this new reality, this new paradigm permanent. And I didn't just stop here. I've also added 2 extra guided releases where there's a morning release and an evening release. And these are releases that I personally listen to every single day. It's the first thing I do when I wake up. I put on the headphones, I listen to this release. I go to bed, I put the headphones on, I listen to this release. Just doing that, just the 2 guided releases, your life will drastically change. And the 5th section here is transformational in-field footage.
I was usually in school not remembering what to say, getting bad grades or criticism, or in groups, social groups, gatherings, just people not liking me, I think.
So as you can see here, there's a lot more intense sensations that are surfacing. You know, she's getting a lot more emotional, and that's because we're going deeper and deeper into the fear.
And this is where it gets really crazy, because what you're going to see in this section is all of these ideas and concepts illustrated with real life examples, with people just like you and me in action, and you're going to see me break it all down. So it'll give you a lot more context and help you apply it to yourself. Where if, for example, we talk about resistance, you can hear me break down resistance, and I will say, it's going to show up in this way here, in this way here, in this way here, in this way here. You're going to resist snapping out of the matrix. And you can understand it, and you'll know how to go through it. But if you see someone else experience that resistance, and you see me break it down and show you how it pops up and how subtle it is, and how I help that person still blast through and finally let go and snap out of it, now you know what to fucking do. Now you have no excuse. And not only that, but now you're inspired because you feel what they're feeling in these videos.
This is where it gets really tough. It's like that thing you keep running away from, that's the shit you got to dive into.
He just said this, he didn't want anything serious, and he was probably just feeling like pushed into a corner and stressed out and under pressure.
Mm-hmm. And how did you feel after he left and after he said that?
not worthy of being in a relationship, of getting love, or having people tell you that you're great or that you're worth of receiving love.
So going deeper here, it's not feeling worthy of being loved. I fear not pleasing him. You can stay there and focus on that, but that's still surface. Go deeper. I fear losing him. I fear not being worthy of being loved.
And I've also added a private Facebook group where you can network with other people going through this process, share your experiences, and really accelerate your transformation. Now, if you're really serious about transforming here, I've also created the Transformation Series. And this is a 6-month curriculum where every month we're going to tackle a theme. And we're going to start with apathy and self-hate. And we're going to move up all the way to self-love and self-acceptance. It goes apathy, self-hate, month 1. Guilt, self-sabotage, month 2. Fear and self-trust, month 3. Purpose and procrastination, month 4. Approval and validation, month 5. And self-love and self-acceptance, month 6. And with each month, you're going to get 1 content video, 1 transformational in-field video, 1 Q&A webinar where you can ask me any questions based on the theme of that month. And at the end of that webinar, you're also going to get a guided release done live based on your questions and based on the theme. So every month, we're going to have this guided release based on the theme. For example, fear, self-trust, self-love, self-hate, purpose, procrastination. Those are huge. How to stop procrastinating. You'll have the content, you'll have the in-field footage, the Q&A webinar, and the live release. This is the Transformation Series. This is if you're really serious about this. And I've also created the exclusive book club series where for 3 months, every month we're going to tackle 3 of the most impactful books I've ever read. These are the top 3 books that just really hit me at a deep level, and we're going to have a webinar about the book where I'm going to be sharing my thoughts and how it impacted me and how it even impacted transformation mastery, and then we're going to go back and forth and I'm going to answer your questions on those books. So this is Transformation Mastery. This is how it all works, and this is what will completely change your life, just like it did for me, at every single level. Okay, and again, this is my masterpiece. This is it. Like, this is, not to get too morbid, but if I died right now, this would be the thing I'd leave behind. This is my mark on the world. This is it. So if you resonate with this, if you want to transform, if you want to snap out of the matrix, if you're just sick of having that shitty experience of yourself underneath it all, no matter what you get, no matter how much success you get, did anything change? For me, before that scandal, by the way, I had everything I thought would make me fulfilled, happy. I thought I had everything that would change that baseline. I was traveling, I had the girls, I had the fame, I had the money, everything. Yet, nothing changed, and it just freaked me out. This is what finally produced that. Change your baseline. Kill the self-sabotage. Stop being pulled back. Stop making things harder than they need be. Make things easier on yourself so you're fulfilled, you're happy, you're coming from a good place, and you can just fucking kill it. That's Transformation Mastery. If you want that, you want to snap out, you want to see something that, being straight honest here, 99% of people will never see. You want to see the other side, you want to see what's beyond the matrix, beyond scarcity, beyond this. Really ask yourself, is this really life? Is this all that life is? Because if so, what the fuck? That was a question I'd also ask myself. Even growing up, I'm like, is this life? I always felt something was a little bit wrong with me. I'm like, why do I feel so shit? Is this life? Is this why I'm here? And I'd look around and everyone else was just as miserable as me. If you go out in the street, when's the last time you saw someone who's just bright and just thriving and alive? There's that light in the fucking pupils. My dad is never. Never. Is that life? Is that what life should be? Is that the life you want for you? And if the answer is no, if enough's enough, scroll down, click the link, and I'll see you in Transformation Mastery. Join the tribe, join the movement, and let's wake up.